The book of Exodus tells a powerful story of liberation. It recounts the Israelites' journey from slavery in Egypt to freedom in the Promised Land. This epic narrative is central to Jewish and Christian faith, representing hope, resilience, and the divine promise of redemption. Exodus lays the foundation for understanding God's relationship with humanity and the concept of covenant. It's a story of a people chosen, tested, and ultimately delivered by a powerful and compassionate God. The Exodus narrative begins with the Israelites enslaved in Egypt, suffering under a cruel Pharaoh who feared their growing numbers. Their cries for freedom reach God, who remembers his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This divine promise forms the bedrock of the Exodus story, demonstrating God's faithfulness and commitment to his chosen people. The story of Exodus is not just a historical account, it is a testament to the enduring power of faith and the unwavering hope for a better future. Exodus is a story of transformation, of a people moving from oppression to liberation, from slavery to freedom. This journey shapes their identity and forms the basis of their relationship with God. The experiences of hardship and deliverance forge a strong sense of community and purpose, binding them together as a nation. It is through this shared experience of suffering and triumph that the Israelites understand their unique role in God's plan. The book of Exodus is more than just a story of the past. It's a timeless narrative that continues to resonate with people today. Its themes of oppression, hope, and liberation speak to universal human experiences. Exodus reminds us that even in the darkest of times, the possibility of freedom and redemption remains. It inspires us to strive for justice and to never lose hope in the face of adversity. Pinpointing the exact dates of the Exodus is a complex task for historians and archaeologists. While the Bible provides a narrative framework, aligning it with established historical chronologies remains a subject of ongoing debate. Some scholars place the Exodus around the 13th century BCE, associating it with the reign of Ramses II. However, definitive archaeological evidence remains elusive, adding to the mystery and intrigue surrounding this pivotal event. The historical setting of the Exodus places the Israelites in Egypt, a powerful empire of the ancient world. Egyptian society was highly stratified, with Pharaoh at the apex, followed by priests, nobles, scribes, soldiers, and finally slaves and laborers. The Israelites, initially welcomed as guests, eventually found themselves enslaved, forced to build cities and contribute to the vast infrastructure projects of the Egyptian empire. Their plight, under Pharaoh's rule, sets the stage for the dramatic events of the Exodus. Egypt's control over the fertile Nile Valley provided a stable agricultural base, contributing to its economic and military might. The Israelites, as enslaved laborers, played a crucial role in this economic engine, contributing to Egypt's prosperity through their forced labor. Their skills and labor were exploited to maintain the empire's power and grandeur, highlighting the injustice and oppression they faced. This backdrop of power and exploitation underscores the significance of their eventual liberation. The political landscape of the ancient Near East during the proposed period of the Exodus was complex and dynamic. Various empires and kingdoms vied for power and influence, creating a volatile environment. This context adds another layer of complexity to the Exodus narrative, suggesting potential alliances and conflicts that may have influenced the Israelites' journey to freedom. Understanding this historical backdrop enriches our appreciation of the challenges and opportunities they faced. The book of Exodus is deeply connected to the stories of the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God's covenant with Abraham, promising him land, descendants, and a special relationship with God, forms the cornerstone of the Exodus narrative. This promise is reaffirmed throughout the generations, becoming the driving force behind God's intervention in Egypt. The Exodus is not an isolated event, but a continuation of God's ongoing relationship with his chosen people. The covenant established with Abraham emphasized a reciprocal relationship between God and his people. God promised blessings and protection while expecting faithfulness and obedience in return. This theme of covenant and commitment is central to the Exodus story. God's deliverance of the Israelites from slavery demonstrates his faithfulness to the covenant, while their subsequent journey through the wilderness tests their commitment to God. The patriarchal narratives lay the groundwork for the concept of a chosen people, a concept that is further developed in Exodus. God's selection of Abraham and his descendants establishes a unique relationship, setting them apart for a specific purpose. The Exodus story reinforces this idea, portraying the Israelites as a people chosen by God for a special destiny. Their liberation from slavery marks the beginning of their journey towards fulfilling this divine purpose. The stories of the patriarchs also introduce the theme of exile and return, a motif that resonates throughout the Old Testament, including the Exodus narrative. Abraham's journey from his homeland to Canaan prefigures the Israelites' exile in Egypt and their eventual return to the Promised Land. This recurring theme highlights the cyclical nature of human experience and the enduring hope for restoration and homecoming. Moses, the central figure in the Exodus narrative, is born into a time of crisis for the Israelites. Pharaoh, fearing their growing numbers, orders the killing of all Hebrew male infants. Moses' mother, in a desperate act of courage, places him in a basket and sets him adrift on the Nile River. This dramatic act of defiance saves Moses' life and sets in motion the extraordinary chain of events that will lead to the Israelites' liberation. Found and adopted by Pharaoh's daughter, Moses grows up in the Egyptian royal court, shielded from the suffering of his own people. However, his Hebrew heritage remains hidden within him, waiting to be revealed. A fateful encounter leads him to kill an Egyptian taskmaster who is mistreating a Hebrew slave. This act forces Moses to flee Egypt and seek refuge in the land of Midian. In Midian, Moses finds sanctuary and marries Zipporah, the daughter of a Midianite priest. He lives a quiet life as a shepherd, seemingly far removed from the plight of his people in Egypt. However, God has not forgotten Moses or the Israelites. One day, while tending his flock, Moses encounters a burning bush that speaks to him. This divine encounter marks a turning point in Moses' life, calling him back to Egypt to confront Pharaoh and lead his people to freedom. God reveals himself to Moses as "I am who I am," a powerful declaration of his divine nature and eternal existence. This encounter empowers Moses with the authority and courage to face Pharaoh. Despite his initial reluctance and self-doubt, Moses accepts God's call, embarking on a journey that will transform him from a shepherd into a prophet, a leader, and a deliverer. Section 5. The Exodus, a miraculous escape. The Exodus from Egypt is a story of divine intervention and miraculous escape. Following God's instructions, Moses confronts Pharaoh, demanding the release of the Israelites. Pharaoh, hardened in his heart, refuses to comply. In response, God unleashes a series of plagues upon Egypt, demonstrating his power and challenging Pharaoh's authority. Each plague targets a specific aspect of Egyptian life and religion, highlighting the contrast between God's power and the limitations of Pharaoh's gods. The plagues escalate in intensity, from the turning of the Nile into blood to the devastating plague of hail and locusts. Each plague brings Egypt closer to the brink of collapse, yet Pharaoh remains defiant. Finally, the 10th and final plague, the death of the firstborn, breaks Pharaoh's resistance. In a scene of profound grief and desperation, Pharaoh relents and allows the Israelites to leave. This dramatic climax marks the beginning of their exodus from Egypt. The Israelites' departure from Egypt is a hurried and chaotic affair. They leave with only the possessions they can carry, embarking on an uncertain journey into the wilderness. Pharaoh, however, soon regrets his decision and pursues them with his army. The Israelites find themselves trapped between the pursuing Egyptian army and the Red Sea. In a moment of divine intervention, God parts the waters of the Red Sea, allowing the Israelites to cross on dry land. As the Egyptians follow, the waters close in, drowning Pharaoh's army and securing the Israelites' escape. The crossing of the Red Sea is a pivotal moment in the Exodus narrative. It represents the ultimate act of divine deliverance, separating the Israelites from their oppressors and marking the beginning of their journey to freedom. This miraculous event solidifies their faith in God and strengthens their resolve to follow him into the unknown. The Red Sea crossing becomes a powerful symbol of God's power and his commitment to his chosen people. Section 6. God's mighty hand, divine intervention. Throughout the Exodus narrative, God's active involvement is evident. He's not a distant observer, but a powerful force who intervenes directly in the lives of the Israelites. From the burning bush encounter with Moses to the parting of the Red Sea, God's mighty hand guides and protects his people. His actions demonstrate his commitment to the covenant and his unwavering love for his chosen people. God's role in the Exodus is multifaceted. He is the deliverer who frees the Israelites from slavery, the protector who shields them from their enemies, and the provider who sustains them in the wilderness. He reveals himself as the I Am, the self-existent and eternal God who transcends human understanding. This divine self-revelation establishes the foundation for a deeper relationship between God and his people. God's power is demonstrated through the plagues he sends upon Egypt. These plagues are not random acts of destruction, but targeted interventions designed to challenge Pharaoh's authority and demonstrate God's sovereignty. Each plague serves as a sign and a wonder, revealing God's power over nature and his control over human affairs. The plagues serve as a powerful reminder that God is the ultimate authority. God's intervention in the Exodus is not limited to miraculous acts of power. He also provides guidance and direction to the Israelites through Moses. God speaks to Moses, revealing his will and instructing him on how to lead the people. This divine guidance ensures that the Israelites are not simply escaping from slavery, but are also embarking on a journey towards a specific destination, the Promised Land. Section 7. The significance of freedom, a new beginning. The deliverance from slavery in Egypt marks a profound turning point in the history of the Israelites. It is more than just a physical liberation, it is a spiritual and emotional transformation. Their experience of slavery has shaped their identity, instilling a deep longing for freedom and a profound appreciation for the value of human dignity. The Exodus represents a new beginning for the Israelites. They are no longer defined by their status as slaves, but by their identity as God's chosen people. This new identity gives them a sense of purpose and direction, shaping their understanding of themselves and their place in the world. Their liberation empowers them to embrace a new future, free from the constraints of oppression. The experience of freedom also carries with it a sense of responsibility. The Israelites are no longer simply individuals. They are a community bound together by their shared experience of suffering and deliverance. This sense of community fosters a spirit of cooperation and mutual support as they navigate the challenges of their journey through the wilderness. The Exodus serves as a powerful reminder that true freedom is not merely the absence of physical constraints, but also the presence of hope, purpose, and dignity. It inspires us to strive for justice and equality, recognizing the inherent worth of every human being. The Israelites' journey from slavery to freedom is a testament to the transformative power of hope and the enduring human desire for liberation. Section 8. Covenant and Law, the Foundation of a Nation. Following the Exodus, God establishes a covenant with the Israelites at Mount Sinai. This covenant formalizes the relationship between God and his chosen people, outlining their responsibilities and defining their identity as a nation. The giving of the law, including the Ten Commandments, provides a framework for their lives, establishing moral and ethical guidelines for their behavior. The covenant at Mount Sinai represents a pivotal moment in the formation of the Israelite nation. It solidifies their relationship with God, establishing them as a people set apart for a specific purpose. The law serves as a constitution for their new nation, providing a foundation for their social, political, and religious life. The Ten Commandments, the core of the law given at Sinai, establish fundamental principles of justice, morality, and worship. These commandments address issues such as idolatry, murder, theft, and adultery, providing a moral compass for the Israelites. They serve as a reminder of their obligations to God and to one another. The covenant and the law given at Mount Sinai lay the groundwork for the books of Leviticus and Deuteronomy, which further elaborate on the details of ritual observance, legal codes, and social structures. These books provide a comprehensive framework for Israelite life, shaping their religious practices and social interactions. The Exodus therefore serves as a bridge between the patriarchal narratives and the legal and ritualistic frameworks of Leviticus and Deuteronomy. Section 9, Legacy of Exodus, Echoes Through Time. The Exodus narrative has had a profound and lasting impact on both Jewish and Christian traditions. For Jews, the Exodus is a central event in their history, commemorated annually through the Passover festival. Passover serves as a reminder of God's deliverance from slavery and a celebration of freedom. The Exodus story continues to inspire Jewish people with its message of hope and resilience. In Christian tradition, the Exodus is seen as a prefiguration of salvation through Jesus Christ. The crossing of the Red Sea is interpreted as a symbol of baptism, and the Passover lamb is seen as a foreshadowing of Christ's sacrifice on the cross. The Exodus narrative reinforces themes of redemption, liberation, and the establishment of a new covenant between God and humanity. The Exodus story has also resonated with various social and political movements throughout history. Its themes of oppression, liberation, and the pursuit of freedom have inspired struggles against injustice and inequality around the world. The Exodus serves as a powerful reminder that the fight for freedom is a timeless and universal human endeavor. The legacy of Exodus extends beyond religious and political spheres. Its themes of hope, resilience, and the transformative power of faith continue to inspire individuals and communities facing adversity. The story of the Israelites' journey from slavery to freedom offers a message of hope and encouragement, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, the possibility of liberation and a new beginning remains. Section 10. Conclusion: An enduring narrative of hope. The book of Exodus stands as a timeless testament to the human desire for freedom and the enduring power of faith. It is a story of oppression, resilience, and ultimately liberation. The Israelites' journey from slavery in Egypt to freedom in the Promised Land serves as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope can prevail. The Exodus narrative is not simply a historical account, it is a story that continues to resonate with people across cultures and generations. Its themes of liberation, justice, and the pursuit of a better future speak to universal human experiences. The Exodus reminds us that the struggle for freedom is a timeless and ongoing endeavor. The story of Exodus also highlights the importance of faith and trust in a higher power. The Israelites' reliance on God throughout their journey underscores the transformative power of belief. Their experience demonstrates that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles, faith can provide strength, courage, and guidance. The enduring legacy of Exodus lies in its message of hope and the promise of a new beginning. It inspires us to strive for freedom, not only for ourselves but for all who are oppressed. The Exodus story reminds us that the journey towards liberation may be long and arduous, but with faith, perseverance, and a commitment to justice, a better future is always possible.